welcome to a healthy holiday, what I eat in a day. So I did an updated what I eat in a day a few weeks ago. I will have that linked for you girls in the description box down below. And the response was so overwhelming. So in last Thursday's video, I chatted with you about filming more what I eat in a days. If you girls are interested, maybe I could even squeeze in one a month. But I thought this would be a really helpful idea to bring in a healthy holiday, what I eat in a day, because we know that this season can be packed with comfort foods, of course, foods that are higher in carbs and added sugars, and so it can be quite challenging to stick with our health and wellness goals. And I have a ton of videos here on my channel that I will have linked for you in the description box down below about how to stay healthy during the holidays, what I do to stay healthy during the holidays. But I thought this would be a really great time just to take you throughout my day and show you how I fill myself with nutrients like protein and fiber to really feel full throughout the day, to manage my blood sugar level, and also to help subside some of those cravings. And so that's not to say that we have to deprive ourselves, because that is absolutely not the case. If you are new to my channel, I am a functional nutritionist, but I am somebody who deeply believes in balance as a mother of young children and somebody who just believes in an 80-20 outlook when it comes to health and wellness. It is so important to ensure that we don't have an all or nothing mentality. I have been there 16 years ago. It was not a good place in my life. So I'm happy to say that today, as a 40-year-old woman, I feel the very best, and I feel like I also have a really healthy grasp on the foods that nourish my body and make me feel my best. So I've just gotten the kids on the bus, and now I'm going to be putting together my eggnog protein latte, which I did have in my healthy holiday bake with me. I'll have that linked for you in the description box down below. But I typically have this protein latte earlier in the day, but I wanted to film it with you girls when there was nice lighting and it wasn't pitch black outside. So we're going to go ahead and put together my eggnog protein latte, which packs 35 grams of protein. So I have this first thing in the morning. It's amazing for blood sugar stability. If you're somebody who is sensitive to drinking coffee on an empty stomach, well, this is an amazing hack for you, because you can bring in this protein latte and it will help your body metabolize the caffeine in a more steady capacity. So it's also incredible for our endocrine system and our overall cortisol response. So I'm gonna grab out all the ingredients and we're gonna throw together this festive and nutrient-rich latte. So I have all of my goodies over here. We're going to be doing 1 scoop of inulin, which is an amazing source of fiber, and it is tasteless. I've been putting inulin in my coffee now for 6 years. So every single morning, typically I prep my coffee cup the night before. You'll see some B-roll footage here on the screen of me doing this in last week's video. So I put all of these ingredients into my coffee cup the night before. I just set the lid on. Then in the morning is when I wake up and I pour in either the milk or the eggnog, froth it together, and then add in the coffee. But I always do 1 scoop of inulin, because I've said this so many times on my channel. And as a nutritionist who focuses on women's hormone health, I've always said that fiber is by far one of the most important nutrients that we can get into our diet for our endocrine system. So adding something tasteless like inulin to your morning coffee is super simple and easy. I also have some delicious fiber that I want to share with you here a little bit after breakfast that taste incredible, that's amazing, and will help you reach your fiber goals in a really delicious way. But we've added 1 scoop of that inulin. Typically, I then add in 1 scoop of collagen, but I just ran out 2 days ago and Amazon is bringing me a new one. It should be here by end of day today. But typically I add in 1 scoop of collagen, which is 10 grams of protein. Now I know it's not a complete protein. That's where either your milk or your eggnog comes into play, because then we have those complete amino acids to give you that full, complete protein. But picture here, I'm adding 1 scoop of the collagen into my mug. Then I add in half a scoop of the Dr. Josh Axe bone broth protein powder. I don't love the taste of protein powder. Again, this is a me problem, not a protein powder problem. It's just not a taste profile that I love. So I only do half a scoop of this. into the coffee. I also like the protein powder from Clean Simple Eats. I will drink their brownie batter one with a little bit of milk and a scoop of peanut butter. If I just need a quick, easy breakfast, that's something that I will typically do. And that's one that I can kind of drink on its own. But most protein powders is just not a taste profile that I love. But I just do half a scoop of that. And then here's where the real magic comes in. So now we're going to be adding in 2 scoops of our gelatin. Each of these have 10 grams of protein. So you can add in 1 scoop as you start to get used to the taste profile. It doesn't really have a taste. It does smell like unflavored Jell-O, I will say that much. It doesn't really have a taste, but it does have a slight texture to it, I guess I would say. It is really incredible and amazing. Like, gelatin is incredible for our digestive tract, for helping to heal that intestinal lining. It's also incredible for our hair, our skin, our nails, and it is this beautiful source of protein that it is flavorless. And if you are somebody who's made flavorless Jell-O before, or you've worked with gelatin, then you're very familiar. So we're just gonna add in 2 scoops of the gelatin into here. And then I typically use cow milk, but just regular cow milk. But because it's the holiday season, we add in a little bit of cinnamon, which I do cinnamon or pumpkin spice always, even if it's just regular milk. But we add in a little bit of cinnamon, and then I add in around 2 to 3 tablespoons of eggnog. And so because this does have the milk, it makes the latte a complete protein. And what's better than drinking a festive latte that doesn't have mold in it? I'm not calling out any specific coffee brands because I just shared myself getting a Starbucks in my last video. So there's no shade, and there's, again, balance, right? There's room for everything. But what's better than drinking a delicious festive beverage for breakfast every day, knowing that you're doing something incredible by getting in all of that protein for our hormone health, for your energy, for your hair, your skin, your nails. In addition to that, it will help you feel full and satiated. It really gives you that full holiday latte experience with power-packed ingredients. Like, it's so fun. It's such a beautiful way. I know the holiday season is coming to a close, but as mentioned, I do this on a daily basis, but I just use regular milk instead of the eggnog. But for me, as somebody who has been on a protein journey on my glow up to 40, I am now 40, like 40 and a half. So over the last 17 months, I have been extremely conscientious of my protein goals. And many of you have noticed it has definitely shifted my body composition. It has shifted my energy. It has shifted the way that my skin looks. It has also shifted my hair density, which, by the way, I know I have new hair. I went shorter and darker, but it is a gloss, so it will like fade, but we put on like a darker, it actually looks much darker on camera than it is in real life. I'm going to insert an Instagram photo here of how it actually looks. I don't know why it's reading so dark. I mean, it's definitely darker, don't get me wrong, but it's reading more one-dimensional on camera than it is in real life. But this protein journey has definitely increased my hair density, the amount of hair that I'm growing, my skin health, my nail health, my overall energy. It has shifted so much. You know, I'm somebody who has always loved a very fiber first diet, and I still agree with that. What my body needed at 32 years old as a new mom, and at the time a mother to 1 child, what I needed at that point is very different than what I need as a 40-year-old woman. And so we change biologically, our needs change, hormonally our needs change. And that's why it's so important not to get so stagnant and stuck in your beliefs, because believe you me, as a recovering vegan, I always say that. I was raw vegan and I started eating meat when I was 6 months pregnant with my son. So just over 10 years ago, I started eating meat after 5 years of not eating meat and really even looking down on cooked vegetables. Crazy to think about. But I'm also a flexible person to know that if something's not working for my body, it's okay to change. Really believe in a way of eating that works really well for you during one season of life, and also fully recognize that, hey, I might need something different as the weather changes, as my lifestyle changes, as my hormones change. And so this very protein heavy diet of mine is helping me tremendously right now. Ask me in 5 years and it might be very different. But this is such a quick and easy way to get in the protein. So as mentioned, I do typically have this about an hour earlier than I'm having it right now, but I wanted to make it on camera with you girls. So I am going to go ahead and hard boiled up some eggs. I'm gonna do some eggs, sliced pepper, and a little bit of a yogurt bowl for breakfast. So after my protein coffee and after my breakfast, I'm typically right around 60 to 65 grams of protein, which is crazy because my goal is around 105 grams per day. So before noon, I'm reaching this huge milestone of being halfway there, which I absolutely love because it takes so much pressure off me for the rest of the day. This is truly like the easiest and simplest breakfast that I continue to eat on repeat. I just keep eating the same breakfast over and over again. A few variations. Sometimes it's sliced cucumbers, sometimes it's a side of sauerkraut, but pretty much yogurt with hard-boiled eggs. Or I have mentioned this before, on more of a busy morning where I don't have time to sit down and eat, which I don't advocate for, but on those mornings, I will do a clean, simple eats brownie batter protein with whole milk and colostrum and a little bit of peanut butter, and that definitely keeps me full for a substantial amount of time. But sometimes I find myself feeling hungry, like I want to chew something, and that's where this is such a great breakfast. I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of raw local honey on top of the yogurt, and girls, this is breakfast. This is how I'm staying healthy during the holiday season, by nourishing my hormones with protein, fiber, and healthy fats. Like, we've got it here. Protein, fiber, healthy fats. After I finish all of this and my eggnog latte, I will be at 65 grams of protein before 10 o'clock in the morning. It's kind of revolutionized my body constitution, and honestly, staying stress-free during the holidays and keeping our cortisol levels in check. We have to nourish ourselves. We just can't skip meals and expect to show up as the best version of ourselves. Like, you know better, I know better, we all know better. So this is like my knock reminder to you that you also, it's important to nourish ourselves during this very busy season so that we can feel calm, collected, present, and more than anything, enjoy the beauty and the hustle and the bustle that comes with this, but in a really satiated and sustained way. I'm going to be making the lemon chickpea broccoli salad with feta from Living Well. This one does have 12 grams of protein in it, but you also can add in an animal protein. I'm not sure if I will add in protein yet or not. Stay tuned. But this one is so nourishing and so filling. I realize I also have a broccoli dish for dinner tonight as well. It's because I did purchase like 3 heads of broccoli. So I was like, you know what? Let's consume it all today. And you all know my love for fiber. Fiber is such an important nutrient. If you go back 6 years on my YouTube channel, please do so with kindness. We have grown, we have evolved. We've gotten significantly more comfortable on camera over the 6 years. But even if you go back to my earliest videos, I always talk about how important fiber is for women's hormone health. I know counting macros is all the rage these days, and I get it. Honestly, I get it. But I tell my clients in my nutrition practice, the only macronutrients you need to be counting are protein and fiber. If you can reach your protein goals every day and your fiber goals every day, you honestly keep this between us. But if you reach your protein and fiber goals every single day, you don't need to worry about slashing carbs, cutting carbs, removing carbs. You don't need to worry about any of that if you reach your protein and fiber goals each day. On a daily basis, I try to hit between 100 and 105 grams of protein every day and 30 grams of fiber. When I do that, check and check, I'm like, we're done. We're good here. I have checked all of the boxes because I know my endocrine system and my hormones are going to be so incredibly happy. So for healthy, happy hormones, I always say that it is so important that we consume soluble and insoluble fiber. So the beauty of insoluble fiber, and I want you to really visualize this with me, but insoluble fiber, namely, is really hard for our body to break down, as the name sounds, insoluble fiber. So our body has to work really hard, churning and churning and churning to try and break down this fiber. And what that does is it burns calories. One, it also helps to lower our insulin, and elevated insulin is responsible for a whole host of endocrine disruptive problems. So when we consume fiber, both soluble and insoluble fiber, the beauty is our digestive system works really hard to break these plant compounds down, and through that creates like a thermogenesis in the body, and it really gets the engine firing and wiring. And so if you are somebody who has had a really difficult time releasing weight, I always say consuming soluble and insoluble fiber is the ultimate hack, because as your body is trying to break down that insoluble fiber, what it does is it releases toxins, endocrine disruptors that have been stored in our fat cells. Fiber in general is very, very porous. So what this does is as we're churning, really trying to break this fiber down, creating kind of that thermogenesis effect, we release those toxins, those endocrine disruptors, those PFAS that are being stored in our fat that make it really hard to burn. When we release those, that fiber is porous, so it's like a sponge that we are running underwater. It expands, captures those chemicals, and ushers them out of the body. It is something that I geek out on a near daily basis. That's my passion for fiber. You have heard me say that broccoli sprouts and ground flax seeds are some of the most nutrient-dense foods on the entire planet, and that's because of those fibrous compounds. So you all know my absolute love and affinity for fiber. And we have been on this Glow Up to 40, this very high protein diet that I've really been highlighting with our protein coffee and my protein loading early in the morning. I didn't want you to think that I have forgotten about my first and forever love, and that is, of course, fiber. With my love and affinity for fiber, I get asked this question so often in my practice, on social media, here on YouTube, and that is about fiber supplementation. So there are fiber supplements everywhere you turn, especially in some of the bigger box retail stores. And so I always say we have to be extremely conscientious of the added ingredients in some of these fiber supplements, because they could be causing more harm than good if there's a lot of synthetic added ingredients. But since the summertime, I have been trying out the Bellway fiber supplements. And what's incredible about Bellway Super Fiber is that it is the first of its kind, being a organic psyllium husk fiber supplement. So with this type of soluble fiber, it's really important to get as much of it into our diet as we possibly can. So as I said, my fiber goals are at least 30 grams on a daily basis, and bringing in some strategic help with something like the Bellway supplement is a really great way to do this. With the Bellway Super Fiber, this is unbelievable. If you are somebody who's struggling with bloating, occasional constipation, diarrhea, you want to release a little bit of unwanted weight, you want to manage your blood sugar and insulin levels, girls, protein and fiber are the hack to do this. I promise if you really give it a go, you will be blown away with how much more stable your mood and your hormones are throughout the day when we bring in ample fiber and protein. And so bringing in this beautiful form of soluble fiber is unbelievable for our blood sugar levels. This is also incredible for cholesterol levels. Fiber is something that I have strategically used over the last 4.5 years with my father, who was reading to have a little bit of high unhealthy cholesterol levels. And so we have been superseding his food with ground flax seeds, high cruciferous vegetable foods, just very strategic fiber supplementation. And over the last 4 years, I am happy to report that his cholesterol levels are in pristine condition. And so as a 69-year-old man from the Midwest, that is something that I am extremely proud of. And I have to say that one of the main things that I did to help bring his cholesterol levels to a healthy level is strategic use of high fiber foods. So adding in a supplement like the Bellway Fiber is a great way to really bring your cholesterol levels into that healthy range. And then of course, removing unwanted waste. If you're somebody who suffers from constipation, I always say this, like we should be going to the bathroom every single day, if not twice a day. Healthy bowel movements are so important for our hormone health. As women, dealing with constipation is a really quick way to have unburdened and high levels of estrogen backing up into our bodies. Healthy bowel movements lead to healthy estrogen levels. And people often think that when we talk about elevated estrogen, that we fear estrogen. That is not the case. Phytoestrogens and androgynous estrogens are the things that I'm speaking to. So when we can be purging our body by sweating, by urinating, and by having healthy bowel movements on a daily basis, these things help our endocrine system tremendously. Aside from having healthy blood sugar levels, of course, that is also incredible for our endocrine system, because if we are on a blood sugar roller coaster all day, that is impacting our cortisol and our adrenal glands, which of course are part of that beautiful circulatory endocrine system. So I am so excited because I am collaborating with Bellway on today's video, and the flavors are delicious. I've even had my mom and my best girlfriend Andrea trying these fibers over the last couple months, because I've had both of them on a very high fiber diet during different points of their lives. And so I myself have been trying this since the summer, and I've had my mom and my best girlfriend on the Bellway Fiber, and I got both of their stamp of approval for the taste and the efficacy. Because when a supplement is not effective, then that's one of those situations that we really want to be a conscious consumer, which you hear me speak about so frequently. Not only do we want the ingredients to be clean, which, hello, this being the first organic psyllium husk fiber supplement on the market is honestly something that's really amazing. But aside from that, now that we've checked the ingredients, we want it to be effective, because if we are taking the time to consume a supplement, we want it to actually move the needle on a daily basis. So aside from the taste, they are extremely effective. So I just like to take the Bellway Fiber as either a snack in the middle of the day, or as something I drink as either I'm putting together lunch or dinner. So I'm getting ready to make our delicious lemon chickpea broccoli salad with feta, which fiber and minerals and vitamin C, all of the good stuff in our salad. So I'm going to sip on and enjoy the Bellway Fiber as I make our salad. So I will have a link for you girls in the description box down below. You can find the Bellway fiber at many of your local stores, and I love this flavor of the super fiber, and they have it at both Walmart and Sam's Club. If you're interested, I will have a link for you in the description box down below to Walmart. You also can find it in store at Walmart and Sam's Club if you're interested in giving the Bellway super fiber a try. But I know many of you girls are also on your protein and fiber journey, and so this is a really incredible way to sneak in a little bit more fiber in a strategic way that also tastes delicious. So delicious, it's refreshing. This one does have that collagen in it, so you know, anything we can do for our skin, glow up to 40. But as I went to go grab out the broccoli to wash for our salad, I realized that I have frozen broccoli and frozen peas. So we're gonna be using frozen broccoli and frozen peas for our delicious lemon chickpea broccoli salad with feta. So we're gonna warm up the pan. This smells absolutely delicious. So the feta, the dill, the fresh lemon zest, all of it brings the flavor together beautifully. I've just finished my Bellway fiber and now I'm going to enjoy my lunch. So after I have my lunch, I will be at 68 grams of protein, which is really good. And then after finishing this, I'm going to be at 22 grams of fiber. So I'm in a really good spot for it only being lunchtime. So let's go ahead and enjoy our delicious salad. And of course, as always, I will have all of the recipes for you in the description box down below. And if you're a member of Living Well, this is of course already on the membership site along with thousands of other recipes. So if you're not a member of Living Well, now would absolutely be the time to try, because we are currently doing a 2-week free trial where you can come in and get access to my monthly challenge, my 5 courses that I have in there, and the most incredible group of women that I have ever been surrounded with my entire life. So let's go ahead and enjoy lunch. So fiber is in a really good place today, especially just after having lunch. And no one is surprised to see what's coming next. We're gonna be doing bone broth. So I'm heating up the kettle, so we're probably gonna go with this one. Otherwise, I was going to warm this up on the stove. But to be honest with you, I only have like 10 minutes before the kids get off the bus. So we're gonna go with the bare bones. I've got the beef, I've got the lemon ginger. I'm probably gonna go with the lemon ginger. I just default to that one pretty much every single day. I'll have these linked for you girls in the description box down below. I also have a ton of bone broth in the freezer. I will have that on the screen here for you, how I store my bone broth. It is getting close to pickup. I'm just gonna make a quick one from bare bones. So I just grabbed the Instant Pot down because I'm going to start some brown rice for dinner. I love cooking our rice in the Instant Pot because it is so quick, so easy, and honestly, it is no muss, no fuss. And I'm going to be making our broccoli beef from Living Well. Again, I will have all of the recipe descriptions for you in the description box down below. But this recipe is easy to throw together and is a huge hit that packs a ton of flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with cooking our brown rice. The recipe on the membership site does call for cauliflower rice, but because I'm making this super family friendly, which every single recipe of the thousands of recipes are family friendly on Living Well. Yes, I'm a nutritionist, but I'm a mother first, 2 young children, and so it is important to me that I'm just cooking one meal for everybody. So while the recipe calls for cauliflower rice, I'm going to be using brown rice, but you could use white rice, whatever rice that you have on hand. So once I get that started, I'm going to wash up our broccoli, and then I'm going to make a very delicious and festive grapefruit cranberry spritzer. Dinner was delicious, girls. I'm just hopping into the pantry to do none other than prep everything for protein coffee in the morning. So as I was showing you girls earlier today, I prep all of this into my Yeti the night before. That way, when I wake up in the morning, all I do is I put in my milk into the Yeti, I whisk it together, and then I slowly pour in the coffee, and it's good to go. 35 grams of protein. So it is truly one of the best ways to start your day. But I want to thank you girls so much for watching today's video, and I hope that you found a ton of inspiration to increase your protein and your fiber, especially during this busy holiday season. And I will have a link for you in the description box down below where you can check out Bellway, and it's such a great way to bring in that fiber, because when we can reach our fiber goals and our protein goals, we feel satiated. And you know my love for fiber. When it comes to our hormone health, it is truly one of the most important nutrient groups for hormone health. So I will have that link for you in the description box down below. And if you liked today's video, you can let me know by giving it a big thumbs up. And now the subscribe button is right over here on the screen. Give that a click. That way you don't miss a single video. And I hope to see you back here on Thursday.